As part of your learning, you are asked to write out a full, complete text that you are asking your students to produce as part of their summative assessment. And I'm asking you to think in genres, explanations in science, or arguments in social studies, or arguments in mathematics, or explanations, or informing texts like informational reports, or narratives such as stories that your students, or autobiographies that your students write in different content areas, ELA mainly. So the reason I'm asking you to write out a full text is because it will help you become aware of the linguistic demands and the expectations that are placed on the students through a task like this. In my research with teachers, they found this to be extremely challenging and yet extremely valuable. So by writing out this text, you are going to be able to think through what is it that I'm expecting my students to do with language to show their learning, because all of the learning is communicated through language. I understand that in many cases, you do not assign students how to write science explanations, but I challenge you to increase the rigor of writing in the disciplines and do this work with all of your students, not just English language learners. But all of our students can and should be able to write in the disciplines and to write in discipline-specific ways. So in this case, we're looking at a text that was produced to respond to a prompt. If nothing else is added to the system, will the worms be able to live after the whale fall is gone? So this is situated in the standards book in a unit that you can find on your own and read about the unit. The text itself is starting on page 247, and the unit is a couple of pages before it. So the students are asked to write a text like this, and what we did as writers of the standards is we annotated this text. And we just focused on two language functions. They are right here on the left and on the right. Develop valid and reliable evidence from sources about a phenomenon, and develop reasoning to show relationships. And most likely in this text, the relationships are either causal or systems, like how the whale fall as an ecosystem works, and how the components interact, and how energy is transferred in a system like that. So this annotation here shows you that there is a lot more going on with language than just vocabulary, right? We have noun groups that are in red. And these noun groups are extremely important to communicate the core ideas and to describe the evidence. So they are the whale fall, the system, ecosystems, carbon dioxide, oxygen, the whale fall, again, the whale fall ecosystem, a whole noun group consisting of 4 words, cellular respiration. Also, when we ask students to develop reasoning to show relationships in this way, in this case, these are causal relationships, then we need to support their learning of connectors, to link clauses and combine ideas through then, because, however, additionally. These are in bold in your text. And then what's in circles or ovals is actually cohesion, to reference ideas across the text. So that CO2 and carbon dioxide are the same thing. So that's renaming. That's cohesion is created through renaming. Or O2 is oxygen. And by showing students how ideas are referenced throughout the text, and by annotating a text this way, you are supporting both students' reading, comprehension, and also to show them how to create cohesion across the text as they write. So you can follow this annotation as an example for your unit of work. But what I wanted to draw your attention to is that depending on your content area, and your grade level, there are multiple examples in the WIDA standards book on pages like 169, I think is ELA Inform and Autobiography, and there is a social studies text like explanation of an explanation from social studies that is about Menominee people. And you can look at your standards book pages and find more examples of annotated text. This is just one. And I'm just showing you that there is so much more involved in teaching language than just vocabulary. If you really look at all the noun groups, the verbs that support them, and the cohesion and connectors that show causal relationships among ideas.